Alright guys, I'm just going to put together a quick Raiden video just to talk about a few things that have come up amongst the community and on Test Your Might especially. All to do with apparently how shit Raiden is right now, just because you can armour through that, there, and that, and that. Now I just want to talk about how you can take advantage of that on opponents that are too smart for their own good and are just gonna act like a paranoid wreck. From every jump in punch 3-3, they're gonna start throwing in armoured moves. I mean, that's fine. If the opponent's a smart opponent and he knows you can do that, then if he wants to build his gameplay around that, he's gonna lose. He's gonna fucking lose. If that's what his game plan is, if that's his gimmick, then that's fine. It's not going to work, and I just want to explain why that's not going to work. A lot of people are now saying that Raiden's shit just because of that, and that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I mean, every character has strings you can fucking... Nearly every character in this game has strings you can blow up with an armoured move. Sub-Zero's 2-1-2, I mean, you can blow that up. Doesn't mean you shouldn't use it. Jax, you can blow up his forward for anything, with the exception of an armoured overhead. And Cabal, you can blow up Cabal's back 1-2-1 with an armoured move. You can blow up back 2-1 dash cancel because the armoured move is going to do the same thing. That doesn't mean you can't use it. In fact, you can use these things to your advantage to bait the opponent into making reads. You can do that. And Raiden's no different. In fact, Raiden fits into the meta game just as well as any other character by baiting out pokes on Zero and taking advantage of negative block strings with teleports. So I'm just going to explain that now. I'll start with the armoured stuff with them strings you can armour through. Now, that doesn't mean just because it's armoured that that's a fundamental flaw in Raiden's gameplay. It's far from it. That's not what the issue is. That's a read from the opponent. If the opponent doesn't armour through these strings, then they're great strings. They're fucking brilliant strings. It's only when they choose to armour do they become bad strings. But that's a read. That's all it is. That's a read on the opponent's behalf. That's the exact same thing as me doing a jump in punch and the opponent doing an anti-air, like an anti-air combo. That doesn't mean I shouldn't jump in anymore. That's a read. I jumped in, I made the wrong one, I got anti-air. You know, that's as simple as it is. I hate to be really patronising about it or simple about it, but it's the same thing. Let's take Johnny Cage for example, right? Who's notorious for not punching that, right? That's fine. If you think the opponent's always going to play like a paranoid wreck, every time you do 3-3, they're going to throw out an armoured move. That's great. That's down to you to bait that. That's the best part about Raiden. You don't have to think in theory. You can just play on the fly and just do what you think's going to come naturally. What's going to come next? He's going to armoured nut punch me. Great. That's whiffed, and once that armoured nut punch whiffs, you blow it up with a full combo. You didn't spend any meter. Now the flip side of that is, if you thought they were going to armor move and you went, yeah, he's going to do it, and you teleported, he's going to blow you up, he's waiting for that, he's going to fuck you up for that. But that's the read. That's the read you made, and it's the read the opponent made, and you lost. That does not mean the string's garbage, or that's a bad idea. If the opponent stands still now, and doesn't do anything, that's only -1, right? And there's pushback on this. Good thing about this is, as soon as you do that string, as soon as you back away, you're out of the down 1 distance, and they have 1 frame. They have 1 extra frame to decide, I'm going to down 1 here. Now, the reason why, just because the opponent could mash a down 1 like Katana and beat you out now if you're not quick enough and they make the perfect read. If they don't, you can back 3 them and blow up the down 1. That's reason enough for them to not down 1 in my opinion. But Katana players, for instance, the reason why they can't down 1 here is because that's -1 and the teleport will go through all normals except for a throw. Okay? Katana down 1's here. That's going to whiff the down 1 and you're going to get your forward 2-4 and that's going to be 20... that 25%, 22%. That's great. Just because they decided they're going to do down 1. Now, there's 2 reasons why Katana in particular shouldn't down 1 you after these strings. You can get a free block string, you can get a stagger string if they don't block. Or sorry, if they don't down 1. And if they do try to down 1, you're just going to get that. Now, it's a read. That's another read. If I do this, and I think they're going to poke, they don't poke, they're going to blow up the teleport with a standing 2-1. It's all based on reads, and that's what you have to do with Raiden. That's one thing you have to get into your head, is there are no guarantees with any character, really. I mean, people just apparently want to be able to mash buttons from a jump-in punch, be completely safe, have to make no reads, and then after that string, they would rather he be over here when he's finished. It's not how it works. You have to make reads with a character, and if you're getting fucked up and blown up by using Raiden, then you're playing him wrong. You're playing him wrong, and if you want certainty, then Raiden's not for you, I'm afraid. It's all guesswork. It's all baiting the whole time. That's what Raiden comes down to. Now, the difference between this and this is that is dialed. Do not dial in that teleport. That's unsafe. This is already safe at -1. That will whiff any normal and any down 1 afterwards. That's the thing you have to understand. It's the exact same thing with this string. That's -3. If they try to down 1 now, you're gonna counter the down 1 when you teleport. It's the exact same thing. Now you can do the same thing you're doing with this by doing it with this string. You can do that. Bait the armored move. You can do all that. I mean, that's all fine. But that's how that's how them strings work. That's what you do with them. I'll just remind you again that you can blow up anyone that isn't Katana with that move. You can fucking destroy them with that. And -1 frame doesn't really mean anything in this game. It doesn't mean that much. It's only 1 frame, and you have 1 frame to make that decision. Excuse me. Now that's how that works. That's how you blow up armoured moves. That's how you blow up pokes. That's how you bait pokes, and that's how his 3-3-4 back 3-1-2 teleport strings work. That's how they work. That's what you do. But that's not all he's got. He's got other strings. I mean, he's got that string. I mean, you don't always have to use. That's a footsie tool. That's a great. Guys do a jump in punch. You bait it out. You can whiff punish with that pretty well without doing that. But you've got this string too, and it's completely safe. Now, you have the same game with this. You can just keep doing that if you want. You can go in with back 3. You can do all this stuff for Raiden. From a jump in punch, one of my favourite strings to do from a jump in punch is this. Now that's 0 on block. Doesn't look like it, but it's 0 on block, and there's a few real high level things come into play from this string. That's 0 on block, and you can do this. Sorry. Now I know a lot. Now that puts you in a little. See that little space there? Puts you in that same space for that. If they try to down 1 after that, when you're 0, I don't know why opponents want to down 1 when you're at 0. It's the worst idea. And certain characters in certain scenarios, you don't want to down 1 Raiden the whole time because you will blow you up with that. Okay? Now, a lot of people will say to me now, well, that doesn't work because you can just duck that and you can down 1 him. Well, that's fine. If you want to do that and I do this instead, I'm going to block your down 1 and I'm going to blow up your down 1. So it's a whole guess. It's a guess game again. That's how it works. I mean, let me see, what else? I mean, when this blocks, maybe you might try full combo punish here. Maybe you might try, know that I'm going to back away and you're going to come in with a full combo punish. Well, the same thing's going to happen. If I make that read, I'm going to blow you up for that. That's how Raiden works in this game. That doesn't mean that Raiden's fucking bad now. You put this character in the hands of somebody who knows what they're doing and they're fucking devastating. That's the bottom line. If the smart player uses Raiden, he's unbelievable. This is not what the video is about, but I'm just going to show you. If you land this in a jump-in punch and it hits and you have no meter, you can do the vicinity blast and you'll get your safe jump. If you have meter, that'll combo. So, I mean, and that's still 38%. So that's pretty decent. I like that. you've all these options, which is great. I mean, again, once the opponent wants to respect that you can teleport past their full combo punish, teleport past their poke, you can blow up their poke from certain strings with back three, then they start standing still. That's how you know your Raiden's working, is when opponents stop pressing buttons altogether. The next thing is X-Ray. X-Ray completely changed. This X-Ray is fucking excellent. This changes everything about Raiden's footsie game. Look at the range on that, man. There, max range is there. Opponents can't cross you over anymore, right? If they cross you over, you're going to blow them up. Opponents can't poke anymore, because if they think now that after any string you're going to do any poke, they can blow that up. They can blow up with normals, and Raiden's game completely changes based on the X-Ray. So now you have a third factor, apart from back three. Fourth factor, apart from baiting out a down one with back three, apart from baiting out a down one or full combo with a teleport, apart from baiting out a down one and blowing up the down one, you now have an X-Ray to add to the gameplay, which is great. The last thing I want to talk about is, people think this string is shit. It's not shit. It's not shit at all. 0-1 block. So if they want to down one you because you're going to do that, then that's fine, because you can block again and blow up the down one. It's all a guess game around that. But this is one of my favourite strings, right? This one. I'll tell you why. Not only does it look fucking cool, right? But it's only -7. And there's pushback. So even opponents with 6 frame moves have 1 frame to fucking execute that move, and it still may not hit. Great thing about it is, with that pushback and the teleport, if Johnny Cage, you will wreck Johnny Cage players with this. If they try to blow up you now, they try to do forward 3-3 and you know it's coming, right? Teleport's a full combo punish. That's how to use this string from a jump-in punch, which is really good. I mean, you can bait that. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Keeps doing it. I don't know why it keeps doing it, but it must be my shitty PlayStation 2 pad. But that's how that works. Now, the opponent could stand completely still now if they know you're going to teleport. That's okay. It's great. I mean, you've got these options, and that's my take on how Raiden works in the way the game's being played now, in the sort of new way everybody's adapting to it. This game's all based around negative block strings and 0 block strings at the minute, and exploiting that and blowing up down ones, and a really good footsie game. And I don't see why Raiden. I don't see why Raiden's bad at that. In fact, Raiden's game's built around that. His whole game's built around that, and I really think people need to change their opinion on Raiden. I know people are going to try to blow me up for this, but it doesn't matter, because this is just my opinion on how I play the character and my perception, interpretation of the character. So hopefully a lot of you guys sort of reconsider what you're thinking about Raiden. Still easily a top 10 character. Very easily. So guys, look, thanks for watching. Don't try to blow this up too hard, okay? Cheers.